It's going to be a video on how to get rid of the markers on the map so you can actually use it as a map for your players. Obviously, this is a trap. You don't want them to be able to see it. Same thing with locked doors and secret doors. It's going to be using Photoshop for this specific video. If you don't have Photoshop, hopefully you can use something that is similar. There's going to be free things out there that you'll be able to use. So first thing you want to do, I'm going to do this trap. It's going to be fairly simple. You want to zoom in fairly close, and you want to find something that has a similar look. This one's pretty freaking easy because there's a hallway or there's a side area right next to it. So what I'm going to do is going to be pretty simple. You do your rectangle mark tool. You're going to select a square that you're pretty much going to try to copy this entire area, and you're going to overlap it. So what you're going to do is you're going to go like this, copy here, and one maybe two higher. Highlight that, do Control C, or right click, layer copy. And then you're going to Control V, and then you're able to move it over. Now what you're going to do is you're going to line it up with your area. And obviously this is overlapping. This looks no good. So go to your eraser tool. Get it to a size that's going to be, you know, probably about maybe 5 pixels, so you don't erase too much, or maybe 6 pixels is fine. And now that this is highlighted over here, it's not going to erase anything. You can actually maybe get in a little closer and kind of start etching away at what you copied already. So you're going to go like this. And essentially what you're doing is you're restoring the original pillars so that it is an equal or even flow. But you don't want to erase too much because there is red underneath. Then you want to go to your other side of your pillar. Same thing here. You're going to just blend this in together so it looks like nothing happened. Same thing here, down here. This wasn't lined up, but boom, now it is. But I'm still going to go through and I'm gonna bring out the actual original wall. Go to the other side. This is the most important one. You're pretty much just going to erase these dots here, these pixels. You're bring out that wall back. Then you're going to zoom back out, and boom! Just that easy. Just that easy. Flawless. There's nothing. I mean, they can get in there as close as they want, and they're not going to be able to tell on a map. So that handles like traps, and it's also going to be the same thing with numbers. So if you go down here, down to, we're going to cover this number 1. Get your rectangle mark tool. You're also going to want to do the same kind of copy and paste that we did up front, up top. My apologies. You're going to take this. You're going to zoom or open this area up. You're going to grab probably the intersection enough to cover. You're pretty much using the number 1 as your guide of how much you're copying. You don't really need to copy a lot, just enough to cover the 1. So probably like one more. Do the Control C. Oh, that's a great thing that it erred. So after you do this copy and paste of this one up here, it's going to create it as a new layer. So what you're going to need to do when you do your copy and paste every time is go back to the original layer, layer 1. That's your map layer. Then copy. Click over here, paste. Get your selection tool, grab that, work it into place, and I think that's good. And then go back to your map layer. Boom. Simple as that. Now you could do the I want to see lazy way, and you can copy this layer and just paste it, for instance, like this. Oops, you don't want to do that. Grab this, zoom in, make sure you get the squares right. This one might be A little too long. You can just grab a layer, zoom back out, go back to layer 0. If it lets me hit enter, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Boom. There you go. But if you notice, room 1, or what used to be room 1, now it's just an empty room, is now, it looks a little darker than this area. So if you were to copy and paste that same layer into room 4, it looks a little bit out of place. This little freaking dot, I'm telling you. I guess zooming in would help it. Alright. See, this just doesn't look right. You can't use this same square for everything. You can drag it into the spots to see if it looks good. This one would probably work. You're going to want to try to eliminate all that red, because they're going to be able to see that red. So make that one bigger, make that one bigger, make that one bigger. And if you really wanted to, you could go back to your layer 1. Back to your layer 1. Do like a eyedropper tool. Where's my eyedropper tool? I'd love to find my... There it is. Jeez, it's so high up. And you can copy a tile that's pretty close, probably like this one here. Get your paintbrush. Don't have it that big. Obviously 1 pixel, because you're only getting rid of a couple squares. And why it's not letting me get rid of it, I don't know. Is it not on that layer? Ah, because it's not on that layer. Okay. It's all about the layers, bros. The layers. Onions have layers. Olgas have layers. Lost my spot. There it is. So since you're just getting rid of that red dinginess from the 4, and then you're able to zoom back out. Boom. It's magic. It's freaking magic. Another thing I can do, this brighter tile, again, make sure you go back to layer 1, get your brighter tile open that up, maybe a little bit of copy and paste action, click where you want, paste it, accidentally hit, I'm going to undo that because I accidentally hit some kind of grouping action. I didn't want to do that. There we go. Just paste it over there. Get your select tool. Ease that bad boy in there. That one's pretty solid. Hit enter. Go back to your layer 1. Zoom out, and you're gonna love it. Super easy. Okay. Obviously the numbers are easy to fill up, but what about this door? This door is locked, but your players will see that it's locked. You don't want that to happen. You're going to want to change that up. So the best way to do it is find another door in the same position if you're able to. If not, you could grab this door, but for easy peasy lemon squeezy purposes, I'm going to take this door here, get your rectangular mark tool, come over here, maybe zoom in a little bit more so you're actually able to get the entire door, because you can see that this black outline is what you want. So go from the... that's not good enough. Go from that specific square to that square there. Go up. That's the entire door in its entirety. Control C a bunch of times to make sure you copy and paste it. Go up here, paste it, go to your select tool, drag that bad boy right over there, and hit enter. Make sure it goes down. Boom. Scroll out. See, you're going to have this map. You don't want them to see these things. So for instance, this S, you don't want them to see that S because, you know, it's an S. It means secret doors, and secrets are meant to be kept to yourself because we dungeon masters are greedy. Greedy little dungeon masters. So in order to cover this S up, you're going to want a similar wall style. Now I'm going to scroll out and kind of look around for a wall style. We've got one here that we're going to use. Either one's fine. This one I'm going to use here because see how this this top shading here representing a shadow from the wall. This bottom one doesn't have it, but this top one does. So we're going to see how many tiles we need to cover this S. Not that S. That S is going to be a little bit more difficult, but this S. So you need at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-ish. 17-ish shapes, or blocks. So come over here to that same one. We start 17, we'll go 8 and 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll go 1 over. It doesn't hurt to copy too many. Start from, oh, hold on, undo that. Make sure you have your right tool selected, your rectangular mark tool. Back to what I was doing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go like 1 more over just in case it's miscounted. Only get what's needed. Go all the way to the wall. You can grab more or less as much as you need, but try to be not too much because then it won't blend correctly. So start from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's too many, but it won't really matter, to be honest. But I'll do it over just to ease my conscience. Go all the way up to the wall here. So now that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's fine. Don't do what I just did. Don't hit Control X. That means cut. You want to Control C. Come over here. Use your tool here. Oops. And paste your layer. And now went over there for whatever reason, but paste it down, get down into that map, and you're going to want to maybe make this a little taller. Other than that, it actually filled in pretty solidly, maybe a little too... There we go. And this wall doesn't necessarily matter because it's not a hallway, so there's no need for those lines to enter up. But hit enter there, go to your large layer, boom. Super simple. You could actually use this same one that I just did there. You can actually paste it again. Come over here, paste it again, drag this over here. This one, it may not, this is probably not the best one to use because if you notice, this is much darker than this. So I wouldn't advise using that one for this area. So what I would do is go to this mark tool, I'm sorry. This square is similarly lit. Similarly. Anyways, so you can get down in there. It's probably the same size, so we're just gonna get as much as we can. It is a square, so we'll go boom. Probably about maybe that much. Copy, paste, get your select tool, drag this bad boy over here. And as you can see, it already looks pretty good. It's a little too tall. Drop it down a little bit. You could open this up a tad to make it merge, but you're really only concerned about the areas where your players will see. For this instance, you want this line here to match up, so it's a little too big, and boom, that fits right in the spot. Actually fits both of them. Hit enter. Go back to your first layer here. Zoom out. I can tell really far in that it's a little noticeable here. So what you could do here is you could do what's it's called a blur tool. Take the blur tool. You don't want it that big. That is quite a large size. That's still quite a large size. There we go. And just kind of, or actually you could even go with the smudge tool. Maybe a little bigger than that. That's too big. 20. Oh shit, you have to make sure you're in the right layer. So go back to your most recent layer. Essentially you're just removing that line. Just smudge it right together. But you have to also make sure you don't ruin your wall lines, which could easily be redone. To be honest, I'd rather bring these in a little bit more. I'm actually smudging it away from. You can actually just do that, to be honest. That might even be the better way to go. Just take this eraser tool and just fucking erase it. And then erase it right up to the wall. Grab your eyedropper tool to redo these dots here because you're gonna need to. Actually, again, well, no, there's that S. So let me go back here, back before that, back before the smudge tool. You can erase. No, that's a paint bucket. Erase some of it. You know, erase all of it though. There we go. That probably won't be that noticeable. A little blurry because of the blur tool. So yeah, don't use the blur tool. Ignore what I said about the blur tool. Blur tool kind of messes it up. And the smudge tool. Maybe the blur tool would be better. But yeah, that's just if you're finicky. If you're real finicky. I mean, it may be better to just paste a new one over that and get this layer 8. Delete that one. Oh. Go to this newly fresh layer and actually just size it down and just say you're done with it. Or you could use the eraser tool. Yeah, apply it. Maybe erase that edge a little bit. That might bring it in. So now, yeah, that's definitely the best way to go. You might even be able to do the same thing over here. Just erase, just kind of do blotches to erase that line that it leaves when you paste it. So now, oh yeah, that looks real good. That looks real good. So that definitely takes care of those doors. Look completely undetectable. The players would have no idea. And then you would just go through and you would do that against all of them. Now the stairs one, would be a little interesting. I'm going to find my I'm gonna find this one here. I think it's layer 4. Nope, 3. Which layer are you? That's the door. All right, so it's layer 7. I'm going to duplicate this layer, and I'm gonna call it. Layer 10. Because that's gonna be our door layer here. And we're going to find that layer now. I have no idea where it's going to put it. Oh, it's like right on top of it. Perfect. Okay, so now what you can do, take this wall here. It might be a little too bright though. No, it's fine. So obviously they're going to see that this is cut. That looks good there. I'm going to put that there for now. Get the eraser tool, get in there, get real in there, because you're going to want to erase the stairs that you can, or erase the points that you can, but not that far where they can see the S. Just kind of keep erasing just in the outer squares to restore this original area, but then don't, as soon as you see the S, like I think that brighter area is going to be where the S is, I would leave that there. And kind of just zoom out and see where you are. Yeah, I think that's about as good as you're gonna get right there, because that's just gonna bring there, and then you can do the same thing here. Delete along the, erase along the lines, so it kind of blends it in, and boom. Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, maybe no, you can still see the S there. So maybe take your dropper tool. Grab a block there, do your paintbrush, and like fill in these bright colors a little bit, because it kind of looks like an S just by those colors. There we go. That looks much better. Maybe a couple more. Like right. This spot here is a little too bright. And you can, just so you know, you can place your cursor in the middle of 4 squares, and you can kind of hit them all at once, but it doesn't make it super noticeable like that. I think that looks real good. So if you take some time, you could easily, you know, duplicate this layer again, because this is pretty much the same thing. Duplicate. We're going to call it layer 11. We're going to hit OK. It's going to copy it from the same spot here. So your select tool, bring it down, bang. Zoom in. Wow, this one dropped right into place. It might just be perfect as is. Nah, I can go down a little bit more. Yeah, like right there. I don't even need to do anything. It just falls right. It falls right in there. It's just that simple. You can take a lot of the work out by just reusing what you've already done. And then, for instance, like these rooms are probably similar. So maybe layer, what is it, 3, 4, maybe 5. Yeah, layer 5. Take and duplicate layer 5 and call it, you know, layer 12, whatever. You can name these, you know, what they are. You could say like covering 4. So that you know exactly which ones they are, but I didn't plan that far ahead, so I might suggest that you would do that. And then obviously zoom in so you can grab the actual square instead of the weird ass shape that I don't really know what it does. Drag that over here, zoom in a bit, and move it around, kind of try to get it in a good spot. Maybe subtract 1 down a little bit. Hit enter. It's gonna fall right into place. Go to your main area to see how it looks. Yeah, it looks super good, super clean. You won't be able to do that for here because it's in the middle of. Well, you might be able to recreate this line here. I wonder if I'm talented enough to do that. Let's give it a whirl. Where is 6 at, or 12 I guess now? It's 12. Oh, I'm on layer. Let's go layer 12. Let's go to copy. Let's go over here. Drop it in. Oh, that's not what I want to do. It's not at all what I wanted to do. I clearly said that I wanted to copy. Why is it? Okay. Can I just... Okay, duplicate layer. We'll just do it the harder way, I suppose. Layer 13. Okay. Take layer 13. Zoom out a bit so you can get over there. This might be too bright for that room, so I'm gonna delete it. Darker room would be probably, yeah, we'll go with 1. I think that's this one here. Nope, we'll go with 2. Yeah, we'll go layer 2. Let's duplicate layer 2. Erase this. 13 is what we're on. Hit OK. Take this bad boy. Come up. Yeah, this will drop in there pretty well. So essentially, what we're trying to do here, we're trying to cover just the red. Let's shrink this down. Shrink that down. Now, obviously, there's the square down the center, and these are also not very good. So we're gonna delete the outer edge. Not there though. That's where the number, the 6 is. So undo that. Essentially, this is pretty much blending it in. If you scrolled out, it's less noticeable. So, but you're still gonna have to do some work. I actually think this is part of it right here, but I'll have to redo that. But you still want to get rid of that right there, and then you want to get the line through it. So in order to get the line through it, I would recommend getting like this dark color here, going back to your paintbrush tool, getting real good in there, and then from there on, just go like in between. Did I zoom in the wrong area? Yeah. Need your brush tool on. There we go. But you want a darker color, so you're gonna get, maybe try that one. Did it really do it again? Oh, alright. What is going on? This dark color. Huh. I'm just gonna go all the way down. I don't know why it's this weird. It should be a lot darker than that. It's kind of strange. I'm obviously not a pro of Photoshop, but you get the idea. If I can get the colors correct, maybe I should take a darker color here. Maybe I'll go with black, and then use the tool here and center. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. Alright. Back on track. So zoom in, click in between the two squares. And you don't have to be perfect because it's not going to be. Just click in between the two squares and get the lines going. You're essentially just recreating that line that they had going from the get-go. And you can even like get rid of all these, like these are just artifacting. Like they're just miscolors. So you can take care of that while you're in here if you really want to get this to be all that it could be. And finish that out. Now when you zoom out, it looks freaking good. But as you can still see, there's some red here I want to take care of. I'm going to go over to layer 1, touch those up. But you don't want it to be too dark because this is on the outer edge and this kind of looks like it's going to be a line. So then I would just take that eyedropper tool, maybe take a lighter, it's going to be a darker one, so I'll grab that one there, go back to your brush tool, and go over these and lighten these up a tad. Apparently that's not light enough, so maybe grab one of these. Brush it up. There we go. That's what we want. That's actually real good. That's gonna look real good. So there you go. Obviously, like I was saying before, this weird yellow area. This is what's probably something to do with just the bad scan of the page. So that's right on the line. You could easily just like kind of like take care of those yellower spots and just kind of like go that way, go across and just kind of white those out a little bit. And then for the other ones, get the black, grab your brush and just like maybe make that darker instead of that weird yellow you got going. Just make this line look real good. Make it look like a solid line rather than being like a yellow artifacted line. And then scroll back out and looks a little better. Obviously it's not gonna be perfect. For instance, I don't really like how it's kind of like odd looking. You can even take your mark tool. You could go from here to here and maybe do something like probably like a mixer maybe. a blur of some sort, maybe like a blur tool, and like blur that up a little bit. Still don't love it, to be honest. Maybe I should blur into lighter. And of course it's blurring the darker into the light, which doesn't, that's like the opposite of what I want to do. Essentially get the idea. You're just trying to get rid of this darkness. You don't want to like give it the illusion of that. Yeah, like I kind of assumed that line would be there. Plus, I also got rid of the center line there. That's too freaking dark. Undo that. Go in between. There we go. That might make it good. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not a good quality PDF as is, and it looks fine now. The dodge tool. I've never used the dodge tool. What does that do? One of my viewers recommends a dodge tool. Doesn't do anything. What does the dodge tool do? Does it tell you? Nope. Alright. So I just won't use it. It looks good as it is. It's fine. So then you would just go through, and obviously the right half of the side is the stuff that I've done. Left half is obviously the numbers. So then you would just go through and do all these.